Hi, I'm Robert Clayton and this is how to build a blog in Rails part 6. Previous video we did the validation checks, and this video we're going to go and we're going to show you how to do updates to articles. Okay, we've got our validation checks, so let's get on to editing an article. So I'm guessing you probably have got the flow of how the Rails works now, but I'm sure you can guess that we're starting with the controller, and we want an edit. So let's go and add an edit in. So we want new, after below new we want our edit. Let's just end that, and like all the other actions we have, we're going to call an article. And we want this to be, well, we want it to find the article that we've just clicked. So we want it to find the parameters with the ID of the article we've just clicked. Great. So as per we've done for all the previous ones, we've added the action in the controller. And now, I'm sure you can guess, we need to go and we need to add a view for this action. So we've got edit, and I'm sure you can guess it's new file called edit.html.erb. Okay, and inside this we want to do a form with. So let's go to our new, because what we want to happen is when we click on the edit button, we basically want the form to come up with all of the same things as you would have for a new basically you want to submit a new article, and because we've called the ID in there, it's going to bring it up with everything that's currently in that article, so it's going to fill in the form for us. So if we're in edit, we don't want it to be new article, we want it to be edit article. And we do just need to change one other line, which is this line 3, this form width. So we don't want it to do with the scope of article, because that will create a new one for us. And we don't need to do articles path because it's clever enough to work it out. And we don't need local true because that's for the beginning. So we don't want to do scope article, because as I said, that will wipe it clean, add a new one for you. We want to open our brackets and we want to do this model, and we want to do article, which is what we defined in our controller. So edit here. Okay, so we want to do a model with this, which is cool. And if you think back to previous videos, when we created a new one, we clicked on new, edit is the equivalent, and then from new passed it to create. So we want to do the same thing, but from edit we want to, it will naturally, because we're using RESTful roots here and Rails uses RESTful roots, edit will pass through to update. So let's go and make ourselves an update action. Okay, let's close that, and we're almost doing the identical thing to create here. So we want to do article again, and this is going to be, as you guessed, article.find, because we want a specific one. It's going to be params ID, just like that. And we're going to do the same validation checks as we've got for create here. Just other way. So what we're going to do, we want to say if article, now not save because we're not saving it, we're updating it. So if article dot update, and we obviously want to pass in the article params, just like here. So we're going down to this private method. So if article updates article parameters, so once again, if that is successful, if there is no faults. This bit is our validation check right here. If there is no faults, it's going to return true. And if it returns true, then we want to redirect to article. Because it's saved and we just want to come out and want to see that article. Otherwise, we want to render again. We want to render edit. So if it doesn't work, or if it fails the validation checks, we then want to go back to the edit, and then that will start the process again. Edit sends through to update. Okay, wonderful. So now we actually want to go and add some links in, really. So let's go to our index. Just like we have a link here to show, let's add a link to edit. And to find out what path here, we need to go over to bin Rails roots. Oh, sorry, bin/Rails roots. And that will give us all the list of commands. And if we want to go to edit, we need to go here, we need to go to edit. So our path is edit article. So it's edit article path. With article in there. Yes. Okay. Great. Now where else would you want to do this? Maybe in show as well. So let's just go there. And we're going to link to edit. Edit articles path, edit article path, as it should be, and we want to pass in this case we want to do @article, because that's how it's been passed in from the show. Yeah, because we defined it there, but in the index we're actually inside the table, so we're doing articles.each. So we want that specific article, which is why we're passing it in there like that. Okay, so let's boot up the server. bin/Rails S server. Let's go to Chrome. Okay, so we're in the articles main menu. Yep, oh, you see there's all our edit buttons appeared. And if we open show, we should have edit buttons there as well. Okay, so if we click on edit, wonderful. So you can see it already fills it out for some text. And let's just change that to, I want to change this text. Update article. And there we go. I want to change this text. And let's go back to the main screen. There we go. Oh, and actually we spelled that wrong. So let's go in there and we want that. Let's just add 3. And update article. Back. There we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wonderful. Now let's go over and do the GitHub. Git add everything. Git commit. And what have we done? We have added edit and update actions and views. And we're just going to push that up. Now, one thing about this code is in the views here, new and edit use a lot of code, and it's the same code. So we actually want to dry this code out, which stands for don't repeat yourself, which is a very best practices way of programming. So what we're going to do here, we're going to make another view with just the form in, which we can then render each time, saving us having to write it out. So I'm going to do underscore form. Now we do the underscore to show that it's not an actual view, but it's a helper per se. So underscore form.html.erb, and let's go back to new, and let's just copy that form, save us writing it out, Now we only have one thing we need to change in this, which is this very first line. Now once again, we don't necessarily want scope every time, because once again, like we did for edit, you don't really want a new form every time. But Rails is clever enough that it does a lot of the work for us. It knows we're using RESTful routes, and therefore it naturally works out which form you want. So if it's going from an edit action, it will know what you want, and it will well, magically, not magically, but it will cleverly work out which you want. So in this case, we want to do a form with model article. So it will work out which route you want from article. And let's add a comma in there. So model article, and you still want local true. And that's all we have to do. So now let's go back into our edit, and we can just delete this table, make our life easier, and get rid of that. So we just got some Ruby tags, and inside this Ruby tags, we're just going to go render form. Simple. And let's copy that, and let's take that over to new as well. So we can get rid of all of this, and we're just going to put into the new render. We're going to stick that render form in again. Okay, so let's go and test this out. Bin Rails server, over to Chrome, the app is on, reload. And if we go to edit, we have our form all filled in with the current article. And if we go to new article, we have an empty form ready for it. And there we go. Hey, thanks for watching. So we just covered how to update articles, and next video we'll get onto how to delete them. Thanks for watching.